So some people are really enjoying this movie, and there are some people that are hating this movie. Let's see where I stand. So The Marvels is the latest film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's I don't know how many films are on this point because there are just so many to take count at this point. In the film, we follow Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Captain Monica Rambeau after a certain event happens in which the three of them have their powers entangled. The three of them must work together to save the universe. Alrighty guys, so let's get into The Marvels.
Excellent!
This was actually it was the one MCU film out of all the MCU films I have seen that I really wasn't filming over the mouth to see. Captain Marvel was a movie that I wasn't really big on. I mean, it was a movie that I enjoyed for what it was, but would I consider it to be one of the best MCU films? Honestly, no. Another reason why I wasn't quite looking forward to the series because Nia DaCosta, nothing against her, I've seen her reviews and she seems really cool and she seems like a very talented filmmaker, but her previous film, Candyman, I thought was overrated. So knowing those two things, this was one of those movies where I feel like I could either just take it or leave it. This movie has been very polarizing. Some people have hated, and I mean hate this movie, and some people have enjoyed it. And personally for me, this is a movie that, well, I had a fun time with it. When it comes down to the performances, especially the three leads, Brie Larson, Tanaya Paris, and Iman Vellani, all three of them I thought were really good and their chemistry was terrific in this film. One of my biggest criticisms with Captain Marvel was honest to God Brie Larson, because Brie Larson in that film I thought was just very stoic. With The Marvels, however, I thought that Brie Larson was much better here, but I actually thought that there was genuine emotion coming from Brie Larson this time. Tanaya Paris, I thought actually had a great little connection between her and Captain Marvel, even though there are things I do want to mention later on. The main star of the show here in terms of the performances was Iman Vellani, who is Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. She is without a doubt the heart and soul of this movie. Her character can sometimes at points come across as annoying given to, well, she is a fangirl, but I honest to God thought she was just such a ball of joy and wonder, and without a doubt I look forward to seeing what she does continuing forward in the MCU. One particular thing that I really enjoyed about The Marvels was the action. Nia DaCosta, I thought, did a very good job of not only staging but shooting the action very well. One thing especially I liked about the action sequences is knowing the whole mechanic, the plot element of knowing that when the three of them use their powers, they keep switching back and forth of the positions or in their locations. I thought it made some of the action, or in fact all the action for that matter, really fun. In my review of Captain Marvel, I mentioned that one of my biggest criticisms of that film was that film I felt just had no emotion, just no real actual stakes. I actually thought that The Marvels had some genuine emotion in this movie, and there were some great moments where they actually let the emotion sink in. Far better done here than in Captain Marvel, easily. When it comes down to the comedy, there are some really big laughs. One in particular had me laughing so much harder than I expected. I mean, there were some really funny bits. The Marvels only runs at 1 hour and 45 minutes. This is the shortest MCU film. This movie is just going and going, and it doesn't stop. I didn't feel that hour 45. As a matter of fact, it felt like more like 1 hour and 20 minutes. Like, this is a well-paced movie.
Well, that's just fucking great!
The Marvels most definitely has its fair share of issues. I feel like I should get this point out of the way because it is definitely the thing that I thought was the biggest issue with this movie amongst the other big issues I have with the Marvels. But anyways, the villain. The villain in this movie is without a doubt the weakest and the worst MCU villain since Malekith, at least I think that's his name, from Thor: The Dark World. This villain is that bad. This villain is so bad and so generic that I forgot their name. The villain in this movie literally goes up there with not only the Dark Elf from Thor, but also Whiplash from Iron Man 2. She is that forgettable of a villain. The Marvels is a movie that has very, and I mean very little plot in this movie. I mean, while there is definitely a premise and there are things that happen that connect from point to point B to C and D, everything else, at the same time, the actual story and the actual arc of this movie, the later is just really just scratching at the very bare surface. We only get the bare minimum. It's still entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it's a movie that definitely could have gone just a tad bit deeper, just to have those fleshed out moments. Due to this movie being such a fast-paced movie, you're leaving behind, or you're at risk, I should say, of leaving behind a very fleshed out moment, a great character. Imagine like you're taking a car to a scenic route, but at the same time, you're speeding that scenic route, and as a result, you're leaving behind what could be some very meaningful moments just for the sake of, I don't know, just speeding across a certain thing. There are some VFX where it looked legitimately incredible, but there were some VFX that, oh my word, they definitely needed a couple of other pass-throughs. There are some shots where they genuinely do not look good at all.
And here we go.
So overall, while the Marvels definitely does have its fair share of issues, at the same time, I cannot deny that I had a fun time with this movie. The Marvels is fun, fast-paced, and it's a solid entry into the MCU. All in all, I'm gonna give the Marvels a 3 out of 5. I have seen many people out there, and I have seen many comments out there trashing people, insulting people for either liking this film or hating this film. Guys, people out there are allowed to have their opinions. Don't trash someone because they like this film or they hate this film. Just say, hey, you know what, hey, I disagree with you, but hey, I'm either glad that you liked it or I'm sorry you didn't like it. Don't be one of those people out there that trashes someone because of their opinion on something. Please, it's just juvenile. Just wanted to say that really quick. So comment down below and let me know. Have you guys seen the Marvels? What did you all think about it? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames are in the description below. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Marvels. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell for my latest review goes live. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click either right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.